Hi there, my name is Michael Bibring, and I wanted to share something with you which has been bothering me during the lockdown. It's a little controversial because it challenges a halachic ruling, and obviously anyone who knows me knows that I'm really not qualified to do that. But since the ruling has been made in a time and with a view to dealing with a situation which is really unparalleled, extraordinary times, I wanted to share it nonetheless, and I hope you don't mind me doing that. It concerns the saying of Kaddish and the inability to have a minyan whilst we're under lockdown and there are no public gatherings. I want to make it clear I'm not advocating a permanent change or dilution to orthodox rules. That's what's held Jewry together for millennia. This is about dealing with a temporary situation and sympathetic leadership in extraordinary circumstances. Now, a minyan is necessary for communal prayer, as we all know, and in today's lockdown environment that's forbidden. I think it's to be commended that the United Synagogue was ahead of the game and closed shuls before the lockdown, realising that would be the best way, the most responsible way to protect life. We were ahead of the game, as we so often are. So we needed alternatives, and Bushy has been at the forefront using 21st century tools such as Facebook, Zoom, YouTube, etc. To building community. So for those of us who virtually never go to shul, we can now go to shul virtually. But on Zoom there's no physical presence. There's a lot of noise without the mute button, as one of my friends says, decimel democracy at its best, but there's no physical presence. So can 10 people attending a virtual service, a minyan on Zoom, can that constitute a minyan and allow for the saying of Kaddish? Now sadly, in my view, regrettably, the answer has been a resounding no. And when I was preparing this video, I came across a description of a minyan which I thought was quite interesting. It says it represents a community in contrast to individual. Communal prayer is a kind of energy that private prayer lacks, and thus the minyan is an important component of prayer. Requiring a minyan for some prayers also ensures that individuals are not alone as they move on and move to new places. Interesting. So Bush's digital community has been cranked up as the only way to represent community and the only way to give energy and ensure that individuals are not alone in their journeys. And it's been fantastic, as I say, in doing that. Now, for me, saying Kaddish is a really interesting phenomenon. I have to say that when my parents, my dear departed parents, were alive, I often wondered how I would deal with that when the time came. Would I really be able to do it for a year? Would I want to? And if I didn't, how would I feel? Would I feel consumed with guilt? Well, to me, when the time sadly did come, I found it an amazing comfort, actually. And far from being a chore to get up at stupid o'clock every morning, I actually looked forward to it wherever I was in the world. And it gave me a connection. And at the end of my year, on both occasions, I was actually sad that I no longer had that mitzvah to perform. It's bizarre, I agree, but it's true, and it was an emotion. It was a big comfort to me as I moved to a new place. So surely, whilst we're forbidden to gather, it would have been just as easy for a rule to be adapted to allow for Kaddish to be recited in a virtual minyan, rather than replace it with a memorial prayer, which really, to me, is more like a public yizkor than privately honouring one's parents. A ruling needed to be made of some sort, so what on earth would have been the downside to doing that? And I think actually the United Synagogue has really missed a trick here. We've seen throughout the lockdown people behaving in an amazing way with one another. Sympathy, time, kindness, caring. It's been a quite amazing change in how humans have reacted to one another. And I think a kind and sympathetic ruling at this time where people are dealing with bereavement on top of everything else would have been the right way to go. So anyway, turning back to Bush's use of the digital platforms, I've really been blown away by what our community has achieved and done. As is often the case, we've led the way, and I think a massive shekoyach and thank you to our incredible rabbinic team and to our communal leaders for their energy and commitment to this. So let's hope all of us come through this crisis very soon, safe and well, and thank you.